Prayer is not asking, it is a longing on the soul. It is daily admission of one's weakness. It is better in prayer to have a heart without words than to have words without heart. Religious tradition across the world display belief in healing through the power of prayer. But what does science say? Is there any science behind the act of prayer? What happens inside the mind of the person who prays? Welcome back to Thought Control, and today we are going to discuss science behind prayer. Many people look out to higher power for comfort. And although we cannot measure the existence of higher power, but we can measure the effect that prayer can have on human minds. Prayers can definitely have mental health benefits. In fact, most research says that it may have similar benefit to meditation. It can calm our nervous system, shut down our flight and fight response, and even reduce depression and anxiety. People who pray have also been found to be less reactive to negative emotions like anger. There have also been researches comparing the effect of secular and spiritual meditation. Participants were divided into two groups. One who meditated using the words, "I am love," and the one who meditated using the words, "God is love." The group that practiced spiritual meditation showed greater decrease in their depression and anxiety level. They also pain almost twice as long as compared to other group when asked to put their hand in ice water. The brain scans have revealed that praying involves the deeper parts of the brain, the medial prefrontal cortex and the posterior cingulate. These are the parts of the brain involved in self-reflection and self-soothing. And while this happens, the parts of the brain involved with taking actions are shut down, which may explain why prayer can help people struggling with addictive tendencies. Higher, deep reflections and decrease in action can also help people deal with trauma or other negative situations. Well, of course, people who are religious look for strength in remembrance of God. It can always be placebo, but what about the people who don't believe in God? A new study done by researchers has suggested that praying can help even the non-believers. The Journal of Experimental Social Psychology have published their finding on how prayers can help increase anyone's willpower or their ability to control desires and urges. But as you might have guessed, the reason behind it lies in science, not in supernatural. The researchers based their study on what is called the strength model of self-control. This model suggests that our mental resources, just like our physical resources, are limited. For example, climbing 2 floors of a stair is not that difficult of a task. But climbing 2 floors of stairs right after having climbed 15 floors already becomes incredibly difficult. The same thing happens with our mind. If we have spent most of our day resisting big temptations, resisting even the smaller ones becomes exhausting and tiring. Simply because you have used your willpower but are not giving time for it to replenish. Just like our body needs recharge, your mind does too. Think of it as your willpower running out of fuel. So how do we replenish our mental resources? Glucose? Elements? Scientists have proposed that prayer can be the perfect tool for just that. Participants were given 2 tasks consecutively, both mentally exhausting. Naturally, when the participants perform a task after mental depletion, it became even harder. Then they were asked to pray between tasks, and the participants who prayed about the topic of their choice showed significant improvement in their ability to perform the task. And this effect was observed in both religious and non-religious participants. Why does this happen? Scientists are not entirely sure, but they have proposed that people view prayer as a social interaction between them and God. And the past researches have already shown that even short social interaction can help us replenish our mind and give us the necessary mental resources to avoid temptation. You can say that it basically provides emotional support. Imagine carrying a backpack for 6 hours. It starts to get heavier by hours, doesn't it? But if you could ask someone to hold it for a while, it will feel lighter again when you take it back. This is what prayers can do. They let you put aside your mental burden for a while to rest and replenish. But there is one more thing. Prayers can be stronger than actual social interaction in refueling our minds as a sense of connection with the higher power, our environment, culture. And the generation that have prayed before us is obviously much stronger than a sense of connection with a colleague. It is tempting to see prayer as a futile exercise, a wishful technique, something that is not practical, but as it turns out, prayer is very powerful as it helps us focus our thoughts outside ourselves. One does not pray to influence God, but actually to change the nature of oneself. So, what are you going to pray for? An easy life or the strength to endure a difficult one? Please let us know in the comment section below. And do not forget to share and subscribe to the channel. Bye bye, hasta la vista. I didn't say this thing. These are Mahatma Gandhi's line. Prayer karte raho. It is helpful because somehow you are asking to yourself,